The research vessel Odyssey hovered silently above the emerald surface of Xylar, a planet untouched by human hands until now. From orbit, it looked like a living jewel, vast forests of crystalline trees, rivers that shimmered like liquid silver, and clouds swirling in colors no one on Earth could name. Captain Aaron Kane stood on the observation deck, his hands resting lightly on the railing, eyes fixed on the alien world below. "Beautiful," murmured Dr. Alara Chen, the ship's xenobiologist, stepping up beside him. "It's unlike anything we expected." "The readings show life everywhere, intelligent life, Aaron, and it's highly organized." Aaron nodded. "That's why we're here. First contact isn't just about greeting them, it's about understanding them. And if we do this right, it could be the beginning of something incredible." Alara smiled faintly. "Incredible is one word for it, dangerous might be another, but I trust you." The Odyssey had been in orbit for 3 days, carefully observing Xylar's surface. They had identified multiple cities built into enormous crystalline formations, each city glowing faintly with light pulses that seemed to communicate across long distances. The humans had scanned the structures, finding no signs of weapons, no indications of conflict. But what intrigued them most was the central city, an enormous network of crystalline towers connected by shimmering bridges of light. "We'll be landing today," Aaron said. "Our team has been trained for this. Remember, the first impression is everything." The landing was smooth. The Odyssey's shuttle glided through the atmosphere, leaving faint trails of light as it descended toward a plateau near the central city. The air smelled strange, metallic, sweet, and alive. Every surface seemed to hum with energy, as though the planet itself were awake. As the shuttle's doors opened, a figure stepped forward. She was small, maybe 16 or 17 by human standards, with translucent skin that glimmered faintly under the alien sunlight. Her large eyes reflected the crystalline landscape like pools of liquid light. "I am Lyra," she said softly, her voice musical and calm. "You are humans." Aaron stepped forward, bowing slightly in respect. "Yes, I am Captain Aaron Kane, and these are my colleagues from Earth. We come in peace and curiosity. We wish to learn from your people and share what we know." Lyra's eyes widened. "Curiosity is rare. Most humans are loud, quick to act. You think before speaking." She tilted her head, studying him. "It is unusual, but not unwelcome." Aaron smiled. "Thank you." "We hope to build trust. Can you show us your city?" Lyra nodded, gesturing for them to follow. As they walked, Aaron noticed something extraordinary. The city seemed alive. Crystalline towers shimmered with moving patterns, light flowing along bridges as if carrying messages. Every surface pulsed gently, synchronized with faint tones audible only to certain sensitive ears. "This is the heart of our knowledge," Lyra said. "It is called the Archive. It stores everything our species has ever learned: history, science, art, memory. But most of us can only access small parts. The full archive is overwhelming." Aaron's curiosity sharpened. "Overwhelming how?" Lyra hesitated. Her large eyes flickered with uncertainty. "It is too big for most minds, too much light, too much thought. Even to stand here is intimidating." Aaron glanced at the glowing towers. They stretched high into the sky, connected by bridges of light that seemed to extend for miles. "I've seen many complex systems," he said carefully, "but size doesn't always mean danger. Sometimes it's just big." Lyra's lips parted, a faint gasp escaping her. "Big, yes, but—" She froze, stepping back slightly. "It is too big, human." The words hung in the air. Aaron took a careful step toward her. "Too big, can you explain?" She looked at him, her eyes wide and filled with awe. I have never accessed the full archive, only fragments. To do more, it is frightening. I do not want to harm it or myself. It is too much." Aaron paused. He realized that this was more than curiosity or fear. This was reverence. Lyra and her people treated the archive almost like a living entity, one that could overwhelm the mind if approached without care. "Then we will approach it carefully," he said. "Step by step. We do not need to rush. You guide me and I will follow." "Agreed." Lyra's tense shoulders relaxed slightly. "Agreed, but you must be careful. Humans, you can be bold. Boldness is admirable but dangerous here." Aaron nodded. "Bold, yes, but also patient. Let's take the first step." They approached the nearest crystalline tower. Lyra extended a delicate hand, and the tower responded, light spreading across its surface in complex patterns. Aaron could feel a subtle vibration through the soles of his boots, almost like a heartbeat. "This is a neural interface," Lyra explained. "It connects your mind to the archive. Most of my people can only link one tower at a time. To link more requires control, focus, and courage. Aaron knelt beside the tower, letting his hand hover above its surface. He could feel the energy, not threatening but immense. Images flickered in his mind, glimpses of alien landscapes, abstract patterns of color, symbols that pulsed with meaning. It was dizzying even at a distance. Lyra watched him closely. "You are not afraid?" she whispered. "I am cautious," he corrected. "But fear is not the same as hesitation. We observe, we think, and then we act." She nodded as though trying to memorize his words. "You are different from my kind. My people, we follow protocol. We hesitate. Humans, you leap, but you do so with thought." "Perhaps that is why you can handle this." Aaron smiled faintly. "Let's start small. Show me a single tower, one fragment. I want to understand it before we try more." Lyra guided him to a smaller tower nearby. She extended her fingers and touched the surface lightly. The light flowed to her, wrapping around her form like a delicate ribbon. Aaron followed, connecting his hand to the crystal. The world around him shimmered, shifting into a cascade of images and sounds. He saw cities, inventions, art, music, memories of a species that had thrived for thousands of years, their achievements both beautiful and intricate. The information was overwhelming, yet he found a rhythm in it, a structure hidden beneath the flood of knowledge. Lyra's eyes shone as she watched him. "You understand it?" she asked, disbelief in her voice. Aaron nodded. "Not completely, but I see the patterns, I see the connections, and I think I can learn more step by step." For the first time, Lyra smiled. It was small, hesitant, but genuine. "Then, perhaps we can do more together." The day passed slowly, with Aaron and Lyra exploring more towers, each connection more complex than the last. Aaron asked questions, made careful observations, and adapted quickly to the alien interface. Lyra began to relax, showing him fragments of knowledge that her people had never shared with anyone outside their species. By the time the twin suns of Xylar dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of violet and gold, Aaron realized something profound. Humanity's strength was not just in curiosity or intelligence or bravery. It was in the ability to face something immense, something seemingly impossible, and find a way to understand it without destroying it. Lyra turned to him as the last light faded. "You are remarkable human. Perhaps humans can do what my people cannot. You are bold enough and careful enough to face the archive in ways I never dreamed." Aaron smiled, tired but exhilarated. "And you are wise enough to guide me. Together we can learn more than either of us could alone." For the first time since he arrived on Xylar, Aaron felt the weight of the galaxy shift slightly. This was no longer just exploration. It was a partnership, a bridge between species built on trust, courage, and curiosity. And the archive, so vast, so impossible, so magnificent, was only the beginning. As they returned to the Odyssey shuttle, Lyra's voice whispered softly, almost to herself. "It is too big, but maybe humans are big enough to try." Aaron heard her, and he knew she was right. The next morning on Xylar, the sun rose slowly, casting golden reflections across the crystalline towers of the archive. Captain Aaron Kane stood at the observation deck of the shuttle, gazing at the glowing city below. The memory of the previous day lingered in his mind, the awe, the light, and most of all, Lyra's words. "It's too big, human," he smiled faintly. Humans had always faced challenges that seemed impossible. Mountains too high, oceans too wide, stars too distant, but every time they found a way. This archive, immense and complex, was no different, and he was determined to prove that humanity could meet it, step by step. Lyra approached quietly, her translucent skin reflecting the soft morning light. "Good morning, human," she said, her voice calm but hesitant. "Are you ready to continue?" Aaron nodded. "Yes, but remember, we go slowly, one fragment at a time. We observe first, then we connect." Lyra's large eyes scanned the towers. "It is difficult to explain. Each tower holds layers of thought, layers of memory. When many towers connect, the light and the thoughts, they overwhelm most of us. But perhaps you can manage more." Aaron smiled. "That's the plan. Show me one more fragment, and I'll try to understand it. We will not rush. We will learn together." She led him to a medium-sized tower near the center of the city. The surface shimmered in soft blues and purples, pulsing faintly with a rhythm that Aaron recognized as a heartbeat of thought. "This tower contains knowledge of our environment," Lyra explained. "Our people study it to learn how to live in harmony with the planet." Most humans would call it science, but it is more holistic. Nature, energy, life, it is all connected. Aaron extended his hand, touching the smooth surface. Immediately, images flooded his mind. Vast forests of crystalline trees, rivers flowing with light, animals and plants moving in patterns that seemed purposeful, intelligent even. He felt the harmony of life on Xylar, the careful balance maintained for thousands of cycles. Lyra watched closely, her eyes wide. "You do not panic." "I focus," Aaron said. "I observe, I let the patterns guide me. Fear comes when we try to control what we do not understand, but I am not trying to control, I am trying to learn." She blinked slowly. "Your mind, it is different. Humans, you have curiosity, courage, and patience. Perhaps that is why you can navigate this." Aaron smiled. "Curiosity is powerful. It makes humans brave. Courage is necessary to face the unknown. And patience allows us to understand before we act." Lyra studied him, her gaze softening. "Then we can continue." For the next few hours, they moved from tower to tower. Aaron learned how each one functioned, how the light pulsed with memory, how the crystalline surfaces responded to thought. Lyra guided him carefully, showing fragments that no other human had ever seen. He absorbed information, made careful notes, and asked questions that helped both of them understand the system better. By midday, Lyra suggested something new. "There is a bridge of light connecting 3 towers. Few of my people have ever tried to link them together. Most cannot manage it, but perhaps you can." Aaron examined the bridge. Light flowed along it like liquid silver, connecting the towers in a continuous loop. He felt the vibration in his hands as he touched the crystal. It was immense, far larger than any single tower, and for a moment he understood why Lyra had said it was too big. "I will try," he said carefully. "But we proceed together. You guide, I follow." Lyra nodded. "Yes, together." They began the process. Lyra focused first, sending her thoughts through the bridge, linking her mind to the 3 towers. The light responded, flowing in patterns that mirrored her thoughts. Aaron followed, extending his focus, connecting his mind to the same network. At first, it was dizzying. The towers pulsed with overlapping memories, and fragments of alien history, art, and science swirled in his mind like a storm. But Aaron did not panic. He breathed slowly, observing the flow of information. He noticed the patterns, the repeated sequences, the way the towers communicated. Slowly, steadily, he aligned his thoughts with the network, weaving a bridge between human intuition and alien design. Lyra's eyes widened in amazement. You are doing it." "No human has ever managed this. You understand the connections." Aaron smiled faintly. "Not completely, but I see the structure, I see how it works, and now I can learn more." For the next hour, they continued the process, unlocking knowledge from the 3 towers simultaneously. Aaron discovered new forms of energy that Xylar's people had harnessed, ways to cultivate the planet's resources without harm, and histories of civilizations long forgotten by his alien companions. Every revelation was a reminder of humanity's greatest strength, the ability to adapt, to learn, and to use knowledge wisely. Lyra grew more confident. She tried linking more towers, and Aaron helped her focus, guiding her thoughts when the network threatened to overwhelm her. For the first time, she realized that humans were not merely explorers, they were problem solvers, creatures capable of facing enormous challenges and finding a path forward, even when the task seemed impossible. You are remarkable, human," Lyra whispered. "I never thought anyone could do this. My people, we fear the full archive. It is too much for most of us. But you are not afraid. You see patterns. You find order in the chaos." Aaron shook his head. "I am not extraordinary. Humans have always faced the impossible. We cross oceans we cannot see the bottom of, climb mountains that touch the sky, and reach for stars. This is just another challenge." Lyra studied him silently, as if trying to understand a new species. "Perhaps humans are meant to do more than my people realize. You do not fear what is too big. You rise to it." By late afternoon, the city below began to glow softly as evening approached. Aaron and Lyra had connected multiple towers, far more than anyone had ever attempted. They had unlocked knowledge, solved minor conflicts within the network, and established a rhythm that allowed them to explore without overwhelming either of their minds. Aaron leaned back, letting the last light pulse through him. "This is only the beginning," he said quietly. "There is so much more to learn, but we have proven that it can be done. Step by step, fragment by fragment, humans can reach even what others fear." Lyra's eyes shone. You have changed my understanding. My people, they see humans as fragile, quick to act, unprepared for the vastness of life. But you are different. Perhaps humans are capable of what we cannot yet imagine, Aaron smiled. We are curious, brave, and patient. Those are our strengths. When combined, they allow us to face challenges that seem too big. Today we faced one of them. Tomorrow we will face more, and we will rise to them as humans always do. Lyra looked at him, a soft smile on her face. I want to learn more with you. Humans, you may be able to reach what my people cannot, and perhaps you will help us remember what we have forgotten. Aaron extended his hand, and Lyra took it, their connection a symbol of trust between species. Then we move forward together, he said, one step at a time. One fragment at a time, and when we reach the limits, we do not give up. We adapt. That is what humans do. As night fell on Xyler, the city glowed with light, a silent witness to the partnership that had formed. Aaron and Lyra stood side by side, looking at the towers, imagining the knowledge yet to be unlocked. The archive was vast, immense, and frightening, but together they had proven that even the impossible could be approached with courage, intelligence, and patience. Lyra whispered softly, almost to herself, "It is still too big, but perhaps humans are big enough to face it." Aaron heard her, and he knew she was right. Humanity was more than curiosity, more than strength. It was the ability to rise to challenges, no matter the scale. And in that moment, he felt the weight of the galaxy shift slightly. This was more than exploration. This was a partnership, a bridge between species built on trust, courage, and knowledge. For the first time, Lyra and Aaron realized that the true potential of humans was not in their technology, their ships, or even their knowledge, but in their spirit. The archive, immense and complex, had become a test, and humanity had passed with grace. And so, as the twin moons of Xyler rose high in the night sky, the city pulsed with light, the archive hummed with knowledge, and two species began a journey that would change the course of their futures forever. The next day, the sky above Xyler shimmered with pale green light as the twin suns rose slowly over the crystalline towers of the archive. Captain Aaron Kane stood beside Lyra on a platform connecting several towers, feeling the pulse of the network beneath his feet. Yesterday had been remarkable. He had connected multiple towers with Lyra, unlocking fragments of knowledge no other human had ever accessed. Today they would attempt something greater, linking not just fragments but entire sections of the archive. Lyra looked nervous. Her translucent skin shimmered with faint light as she turned to Aaron. "You are sure humans can do this?" she asked softly. "No one from my species has ever linked more than a few towers at once. The archive, it is immense. It can overwhelm a mind." Aaron smiled calmly. "We don't need to rush. We will do it slowly, step by step, as we always do. Humans are not afraid of what is big. We are curious, patient, and adaptable. Those are our strengths, and together we will succeed." Lyra hesitated but nodded. "Then we begin." They moved to the central cluster of towers, a structure so enormous that it seemed to touch the clouds above. Light flowed along every surface, pulsing in complex patterns. The vibrations were stronger here, almost like standing inside a living heartbeat. Aaron extended his hand and touched the nearest tower. The sensation was overwhelming. Information surged into his mind, thousands of thoughts, memories, and patterns all at once. Lyra reached out to guide him. "Focus on the patterns, not the flood. You can do it. Trust yourself." Aaron closed his eyes and breathed slowly. He noticed repeating sequences, the rhythm of the archive. He focused on one section at a time, allowing his mind to adjust. Slowly, the overwhelming surge became manageable. He could distinguish individual streams of thought and memory. Lyra watched in awe. "No human has ever done this, yet you are calm. You see order where others see chaos." Aaron opened his eyes. "It is not calm by chance. Humans have always faced the impossible. We climb mountains taller than we can imagine, explore oceans deeper than we can measure, and reach for stars far beyond our reach. The archive is just another challenge." Together, they began to link multiple towers. Light flowed between Aaron and Lyra and between the towers themselves. Information streamed into their minds. Histories of Xyler's civilizations, complex energy systems, the ecological balance of the planet, and cultural art forms that were breathtaking in their beauty. The more they explored, the more Lyra realized the human mind could adapt in ways her people had never imagined. Where an alien might panic or falter, Aaron remained steady, finding patterns, understanding sequences and connecting knowledge into meaningful structures. This is incredible, Lyra whispered. You are not just learning, you are organizing the archive, making it coherent. No one has ever done this. Aaron nodded. Humans are problem solvers. When faced with something too big, we do not retreat. We observe, analyze, and adapt. That is why we can face the impossible. As they worked, other members of Lyra's species began to approach, observing quietly. Some were skeptical, others were curious. Whispers ran through the crowd. The human is linking the towers, he understands the archive, he is different. Lyra noticed their reactions. My people, they doubt humans, they think you cannot handle the archive, but now they see you can. Aaron smiled gently. We do not need to prove anything with force. Knowledge and patience are stronger than fear. Humans show respect for what is too big, and that earns trust. Hours passed as Aaron and Lyra explored deeper sections of the archive. Aaron discovered forgotten technologies, energy systems that could power entire cities without harming the environment, and records of past civilizations that had vanished due to carelessness or misunderstanding. Each discovery was shared carefully with Lyra, who recorded everything with meticulous care. At one point, they came across a section of the archive containing cultural history. Lyra's species had created vast works of music and art, stored as patterns of light and vibration. Aaron observed these patterns, studying them carefully. He noticed connections between the art and the energy systems of the planet, the way creativity influenced ecological balance. This is beautiful, Aaron said softly. Your people have always understood balance in a way humans are only beginning to learn, and now, by connecting your knowledge, we can see it more clearly. Together, we can preserve it. Lyra's eyes filled with light. I never thought anyone could do this. Humans, you are capable of seeing what we cannot. Perhaps you are meant to help us remember. As night approached on Xylar, the city glowed with millions of lights, the archive pulsing gently like a heart. Aaron and Lyra had connected dozens of towers, far more than anyone had ever attempted. They had unlocked knowledge, restored lost histories, and built a bridge between human and alien understanding. Lyra turned to Aaron. You have changed everything. My people, they will remember this day. Humans, you have earned a place here, not as conquerors, not as visitors, but as partners, friends who can face what is too big. Aaron placed a hand gently on hers. We are not here to replace anyone. We are here to learn, to share, and to help. Humanity has always believed in exploration, not to take, but to understand. That is how we rise to challenges. Lyra smiled, a small but sincere expression. Then, together, we will continue. Humans, you can do what no one else can. You see patterns where others see chaos. You bring order to what is too big. Word of their success spread quickly through the alien city. Leaders and scholars came to observe, and soon, humans were invited to access the archive fully. Where aliens had hesitated, Aaron guided them, showing patience and respect. Where systems seemed overwhelming, humans found order. And in every step, Lyra was at his side, amazed at the ingenuity, courage, and wisdom of her human companion. One of the alien elders approached him. Human, your species is remarkable. You do not fear what is vast. You adapt, learn, and act with care. My people, we have underestimated you. You have shown that size and complexity are not barriers, they are opportunities. Aaron bowed slightly. Thank you. Humanity has always faced the impossible. We respect challenges, we respect knowledge, and we respect life. That is why we succeed. Lyra watched, pride in her eyes. And now, the archive is open in ways it has never been before. My people, they see humans differently. You are not only visitors, you are partners, guides, and friends. For the first time since arriving on Xylar, Aaron felt a deep sense of accomplishment, not because he had conquered anything, but because he had built understanding, trust, and cooperation. Humanity's strength lay not in power, but in courage, curiosity, and the ability to adapt. As the twin moons rose in the night sky, casting silver light across the city, Aaron and Lyra stood atop the central tower. The archive glowed beneath them, immense and infinite, yet approachable through patience and skill. Lyra whispered softly, almost to herself, "It is still big, but perhaps humans are big enough to handle it." Aaron smiled. "Yes, Lyra, humans are big enough, not because we are stronger or faster, but because we see patterns, we learn, and we adapt. That is our gift. And together, we can achieve anything." The city below seemed to pulse in agreement. Knowledge, light, and life flowed through the archive, now shared between species for the first time in thousands of cycles. Aaron felt the weight of history and the promise of the future in equal measure. "This is only the beginning," he said, turning to Lyra. "There is so much more to explore, to learn, and to share. The archive is vast, yes, but humans are vast in spirit, and that is what matters." Lyra reached out and touched his hand. "Then we continue, human, together, step by step, tower by tower. We will unlock what was forgotten, and we will preserve it for the future." Aaron nodded. "Exactly. Humans do not give up when something is too big. We rise to it. That is what makes us human." And so, as the stars of Xylar sparkled in the night sky, Aaron, Kane, and Lyra looked out over the city, knowing that the impossible had been faced and overcome. Humans had proven their ingenuity, courage, and wisdom. They had earned their place, not as conquerors, but as partners, explorers, and friends. The archive, once too big to comprehend, had become a bridge between species, and the future, bright, infinite, and full of possibilities, awaited them both. For the first time, Lyra smiled without hesitation. "Humans, you are truly remarkable. Perhaps the universe is big enough for both of our species, and together we can reach even further than before." Aaron smiled back, feeling the truth of her words. Humanity had always faced challenges, large and small, known and unknown. And now on Xylar they had faced one of the greatest challenges of all and risen to it. Step by step, fragment by fragment, tower by tower, the universe had never seen humans like this before. And it would never forget.